The Galactic exploration vessel Horizon hung in the silent void, its sensors trained on the blue-green sphere below. Excitement rippled through the bridge as new data streamed across holographic displays. Commander Vexus, called the lead scientist, his 4 eyes blinking rapidly as he recalibrated his instruments. "I'm getting impossible readings from this planet." Vexus slithered across the deck, her scales reflecting the blue light of the central console. "What kind of impossible, Zarthalic? Uninhabitable impossible or just uncomfortable impossible?" "Neither," the scientist replied, mandibles twitching nervously. "It's registering as a Class 15. A shocked silence fell over the bridge. Class 15. The theoretical maximum on the danger scale. No species had ever encountered one outside of simulations. "Your equipment must be malfunctioning," Vexus scoffed, though her tail twitched anxiously. "Run diagnostics." "Already did. Triple verified." Zarthalic displayed the horrifying statistics. Extreme weather patterns ranging from freezing to boiling in the same regions. Active tectonic instability. Deadly radiation levels from the nearby star. Aggressive and diverse biological evolution. And the gravity. "It's nearly twice our homeworld's." The secondary science officer, Valmera, chittered in disbelief. Nothing intelligent could possibly evolve in those conditions. "Agreed," Commander Vexus decided. "But we've come too far not to investigate. Prepare a landing party with full environmental protection." Meanwhile, on the surface of this death trap of a planet, Jessica Chen adjusted her park ranger hat and sighed deeply. Another tourist was trying to feed a sandwich to a 700-pound grizzly bear while his friend recorded on his phone. "Sir," she called out with practiced patience that barely masked her sarcasm, "unless you're trying to become that bear's lunch, I suggest you back away." Slowly. The alien landing craft descended through Earth's atmosphere, buffeted by what the pilot called catastrophic wind patterns, but what meteorologists on Earth had labeled a mild spring breeze. They landed in a clearing near Old Faithful, chosen for its relative distance from human settlements, though the readings of toxic gases and extreme heat signatures had the science team questioning the definition of safe. 6 aliens emerged in sealed environmental suits, their movements awkward in the crushing gravity. Through their helmets, Jessica could see their insectoid features contorted in what she would later learn was scientific awe and existential terror. "Life signs approaching," hissed Zarthalic over their comms. "Possibly a dominant predator. Move slowly." Jessica strolled toward them, radio in hand. "Folks, you've landed in a restricted area of Yellowstone National Park. I'm going to need to see your camping permits." The aliens froze, their translator devices struggling with her casual tone. "Great Mother of Mercy," gasped Valmera. "It's exposed to the atmosphere." Zarthalic stepped forward cautiously. "This atmosphere is highly toxic. Your protective covering appears inadequate." Jessica looked down at her standard-issue ranger uniform. "What, this old thing? Park Service budget cuts, am I right?" She laughed, which caused 2 aliens to stumble backward in alarm. "The creature appears to be in distress. It's making stress vocalizations." Commander Vexus intervened. "We must rescue it before the toxins cause further damage." She gestured frantically. "Bring an emergency containment field." "Whoa there," Jessica held up her hands. "Nobody's containing anybody. Tourist season doesn't officially start for 2 weeks, and I haven't had my coffee yet." The aliens conferred frantically, their sensors continuously registering the impossible reality of an unprotected organism surviving, even thriving, in conditions that should have dissolved its cellular structure instantly. More park rangers and visitors began gathering at the commotion. The aliens' panic intensified as they watched children licking ice cream cones in the open air. "They're allowing their young to consume frozen chemical compounds," shrieked a junior scientist. "Is this some form of ritual sacrifice?" Jessica rubbed her temples. "Look, either you have permits or you don't. And if that's a drone," she pointed to their hovering camera sphere, "you definitely need a special use authorization." Back aboard the Horizon, the alien science team huddled around tables covered with Earth samples and data readouts. Arguments had been raging for hours. "These readings cannot be accurate," insisted Valmera, her exoskeleton clicking nervously. "No carbon-based lifeform should survive these radiation levels." Zarthalic adjusted his viewing apparatus. "And yet, they do. The human cellular structure shows adaptations I've never seen before. Their DNA has repair mechanisms that are frankly impossible by our understanding of biology." On the main view screen, surveillance drones showed humans engaged in various activities around Yellowstone. One group was willingly submerging themselves in near-boiling water. "What are they doing now?" asked Commander Vexus, tilting her head in confusion. "They call it hot springs bathing," replied a cultural analyst. "They do it for pleasure." "Pleasure? In conditions that would cook our flesh?" Another screen showed humans climbing sheer rock faces with minimal equipment. "And these ones are deliberately placing themselves at fatal heights," noted Zarthalic. "Using only thin synthetic fibers to prevent death." The nutritional scientist burst into the room, his breathing apparatus wheezing in distress. "The young. They are consuming frozen sweetened dairy products that cause immediate temperature shock to their systems. When I approached to warn them, they offered me something called Rocky Road with a casual disregard for my safety." Commander Vexus paced the deck, her military mind racing. If they evolved on this death world? If these conditions are normal to them? She paused, considering the implications. What does this mean for their military capabilities? Their pain tolerance? Their aggression thresholds? "According to these atmospheric samples," said Zarthalic, reviewing data, "they breathe a corrosive mixture of nitrogen and oxygen that would destroy our respiratory systems in seconds. Their water is so pure it would leach minerals from our bodies." Valmera shuddered. "And they drink it. Voluntarily. Most concerning," Vexus concluded, "is what their evolution suggests. If their homeworld is this hostile, what exactly do humans consider dangerous?" Within a week, Earth governments had established formal communication protocols with the alien delegation. The visitors, who called themselves the Galactic Concordat, requested all meetings take place aboard their vessels in controlled environments. "With all due respect," said the UN Secretary-General over the video link, "if we're establishing diplomatic relations, we should do so on equal footing. We invite you to the United Nations headquarters in New York." The aliens couldn't hide their dismay. 3 days later, Jessica found herself at the UN, appointed as a cultural liaison due to her first contact experience, though she suspected it was actually punishment for the sarcastic first contact report she'd filed. "Remember," a State Department official briefed her, "you represent humanity now." "Great," Jessica muttered. No pressure. When the alien delegation entered the General Assembly Hall, their distress was immediately apparent. Despite their protective suits, they moved gingerly under Earth's gravity. Every cough or sneeze from the human delegates sent them flinching backward. The constant hum of electronics, the bacteria in the air, the temperature fluctuations, all overwhelming their senses. "Are you comfortable?" Jessica asked Zarthalic as they took their seats. "Comfortable would be an extreme exaggeration," he replied, voice strained through his breathing apparatus. "How do you tolerate the constant bombardment of stimuli?" Jessica shrugged. "You get used to it." Her running commentary on the aliens' reactions to Earth, "Today our visitors discovered doorknobs and nearly had a collective aneurysm," became an internet sensation. Humans found their terror of mundane objects hilarious, but the humor faded when the Concordat representatives viewed humanity's historical archives. Their horror at footage of world wars, extreme sports, and childbirth left them speechless. "You've been fighting each other on this death world?" Commander Vexus asked incredulously. "How has your species not gone extinct?" The diplomatic summit was entering its third day when the emergency sirens began to wail. The alien delegates froze in terror as the building trembled. "Earthquake," announced a calm voice over the PA system. "Magnitude 5.2. Please proceed to designated safety areas. While UN staff efficiently directed evacuation procedures, the alien delegation descended into panic. Their exoskeletons weren't designed for rapid movement in Earth's gravity, and several collapsed in respiratory distress as their suits malfunctioned. "Oh, for heaven's sake," Jessica muttered, watching Zarthalic struggling to stand. Without hesitation, she hoisted the alien scientist, nearly her own weight, over her shoulder. "Hang on, buddy." All around the room, humans were doing the same, lifting aliens, supporting them, carrying their equipment. Commander Vexus watched in shock as the frail-looking UN Secretary-General, a woman in her 60s, physically carried a struggling alien diplomat twice her size. "How?" Vexus gasped as Jessica returned for her. "The gravity alone should make this impossible." "Tuesday," Jessica grunted, supporting the commander as aftershocks rumbled through the building. "This isn't even a big one." Outside, the aliens witnessed humans performing what they considered extraordinary feats: emergency workers lifting debris, parents carrying multiple children, regular citizens helping the elderly through the chaos. All while breathing unfiltered air, exposed to the elements, and remaining remarkably calm. "Great Mother, I've been taking notes on the wrong species," Zarthalic thought, observing Jessica organizing both humans and aliens with military efficiency. "Sorry about this," Jessica said later, handing out water bottles to shaken aliens in the recovery area. "Just a little tectonic plate adjustment. Happens all the time." "All the time?" Valmera's translator struggled to convey her horror. In her head, Jessica was composing another social media post. Day 3 of alien babysitting, had to carry 4 of them out during a baby quake. One asked if Earth was trying to shake us off like parasites. Told them to wait until hurricane season, but looking at their genuine terror, she began to understand something profound. What was normal for humans was genuinely life-threatening to most galactic species. News of the Deathworld species spread through the galaxy like wildfire. The Concordat's initial reports, transmitted with the highest security clearance, were leaked almost immediately. Civilized worlds reacted with a mixture of fascination, disbelief, and outright terror. "The humans must be quarantined," insisted the Praxi hegemony. "A species that evolved in such conditions would devastate our ecosystems. We should establish military alliance immediately," countered the Strategic Council of Melbourne. "Any species that considers toxic oxygen breathable would make formidable warriors." 3 months after first contact, Jessica received an unprecedented invitation, an official diplomatic visit to Zarthalic's homeworld, Serenthi Prime. She would be the first human to travel beyond the solar system. "You'll need this specialized environmental suit," explained the science officer, helping her into a bulky contraption. "Our atmosphere would be uncomfortable for you." Jessica snorted. "You mean like how our crushing gravity is uncomfortable for you?" "Our buildings aren't designed to support your density," Zarthalic explained seriously. "You could fall through our floors." On Serenthi Prime, Jessica felt like a bull in a china shop. Even with gravity adjusters, she had to consciously restrain her movements. Every step threatened delicate structures, every gesture seemed exaggerated and dangerous. The locals kept a cautious distance, whispering about the Deathworlder. The real trouble started at the diplomatic dinner. Jessica sneezed, pandemonium erupted. Alarmed guards rushed forward as dignitaries scrambled for cover. "What happened?" she asked, bewildered. "You expelled internal microbes at ballistic velocity," Zarthalic explained, mandibles twitching anxiously. "They feared attack." Things didn't improve when she ate a bite of spiced food without reaction, casually sampled a beverage considered mildly toxic to Serenthians, or described swimming in oceans, which on this world contained no predators larger than a human finger. On Earth, she explained to astonished scientists, some people swim with sharks for fun. Not all galactic species welcomed the discovery of Deathworlders with scientific curiosity. The Vrexian Dominion, a militant hive mind from the galactic core, viewed humanity's existence as an intolerable threat. "These humans must be eliminated before they spread beyond their system," declared Supreme Vrex Kamor in closed council. Their physiological adaptations make them too dangerous to join the galactic community. The Dominion's war strategists developed a plan based on their understanding of conventional species, targeted atmospheric alterations that would render Earth uninhabitable by reducing oxygen levels and introducing specific neurotoxins. These agents would kill any normal species within hours, the chief scientist explained, displaying simulations. Death would be painless and complete. What the Vrexians didn't understand was that their lethal atmospheric changes would merely cause humans minor respiratory discomfort. Their neurotoxins, while harmful to most galactic species, would produce symptoms in humans similar to mild food poisoning. Zarthalic discovered the plot while attending a routine scientific conference. Horrified by the intercepted communications, he immediately contacted Jessica, who was still serving as Earth's cultural liaison. "The Vrexians are planning to poison your atmosphere," he explained urgently through his translator. "We must evacuate your population immediately." Jessica frowned, reviewing the chemical compounds he'd transmitted. "Wait, this toxin has a molecular structure similar to capsaicin, that's what makes peppers spicy. And these oxygen levels. They're comparable to high-altitude cities like La Paz. People live there normally. You mean their weapon would not kill you?" Zarthalic's exoskeleton clicked in amazement. "It might make Earth feel like Denver with a bad case of heartburn," Jessica shrugged. "Uncomfortable, but not apocalyptic." "Remarkable," Zarthalic whispered. "But the Vrexians don't know that." Earth's Unified Defense Council convened an emergency session, with Jessica and Zarthalic presenting the Vrexian threat. Military leaders studied the alien weapons' capabilities with professional interest rather than terror. So their primary atmospheric weapon would reduce oxygen to levels equivalent to 12,000 feet elevation? General Martinez clarified. And introduce compounds similar to mild capsaicin? Correct, Zarthalic confirmed. For most galactic species, this would cause immediate neural collapse and respiratory failure. For us, it's basically like spending a spicy weekend in the Andes, Jessica added. The room erupted in laughter, confusing the alien scientists present. Rather than evacuating, Earth prepared a multi-tiered defense that showcased human adaptability. High-altitude military units were deployed globally. Temporary breathing assistance was distributed to vulnerable populations. And most ingeniously, a counteragent was developed that would actually neutralize the Vrexian toxins by converting them into compounds that would boost human immune response. "Wait," Commander Vexus asked during a strategy session. "You're turning their weapon into a beneficial supplement?" "Waste not, want not," Jessica shrugged. "Our bodies evolved dealing with toxins. We're pretty good at it." The Vrexian attack came 3 days later. Their ships deployed atmospheric dispersal units in Earth's upper atmosphere, then waited in orbit for confirmation of mass extinction. What they witnessed instead was continued human activity, and worse, a coordinated counterattack. Jessica led a mixed team of humans and Concordat allies in the orbital defense. As the hostile aliens watched in disbelief, humans operated in vacuum conditions wearing what the Vrexians considered woefully inadequate protection. When their boarding parties encountered human defense teams, they were shocked by the violence of the engagement. "They're letting us puncture their environmental suits," a panicked Vrexian commander reported. "And they keep fighting despite fluid loss. It's called bleeding," Jessica explained over the captured comm channel, casually applying a pressure bandage to her arm while continuing to advance. "We do it all the time. Usually doesn't even slow us down." Zarthalic, watching from a safe distance, activated his personal recorder. This would revolutionize galactic understanding of adaptive biology. If they survived to report it, the Vrexian attack ended not with Earth's extinction but with the surrender of the alien fleet. Their weapons, designed for conventional species, proved ineffective against humans who had evolved on a Deathworld. "We did not understand," admitted the captured Vrexian commander. "Our intelligence suggested no species could survive your planet's conditions, much less thrive as you have." The Galactic Concordat formalized humanity's entrance into the interstellar community with unprecedented security protocols, not to protect humans from the galaxy, but to protect the galaxy from humans. Jessica found herself appointed as Earth's first official ambassador, a role she accepted with her characteristic blend of sarcasm and practicality. "Great, now I'm babysitting the entire galaxy," she quipped at the ceremony. In the following months, humans began cautious exploration of alien worlds, always shocking other species with their casual approach to conditions others found extreme. Jessica established a cultural exchange program where she taught fascinated aliens about human recreational activities. "No, we deliberately jump out of flying vehicles for fun," she explained to a horrified audience. "We call it skydiving." The galaxy adjusted to the reality of Deathworlders in their midst. Specially reinforced quarters were constructed on space stations. Warning signs in multiple languages marked human-safe areas that might be dangerous to other species. "Don't drink the water in the human section," became a common caution. "It's pure enough to kill you." 5 years after first contact, humans had become respected, if somewhat feared, members of the galactic community. Jessica watched with amusement as alien diplomats participated in endurance training on Earth's surface, proud of their ability to withstand 10 minutes of exposure. Apparently, she recorded in her final log as ambassador, several species now use Earth conditions as their military training grounds. The term Deathworlder has become something of a badge of honor. What had begun with aliens discovering Earth had transformed into the galaxy discovering humanity. Rather than humans adapting to galactic standards, the reverse had occurred. "Funny how things work out," Jessica mused, sipping her coffee, a beverage now classified as a controlled substance in 12-star systems. "Turns out we were the aliens all along."